All right, we'll get started here in a couple minutes. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. I usually kind of pop on Sunday evening a little bit, kind of look at the markets and stuff like that. But I've had, some conversations over the weekend, and so I felt like it was time to kind of address a couple things. And I'll take a quick peek at the impulse scanner. But the topic of this live is my 7 years helping people learn how to trade, and our trading team have. And then, of course, now that's up for me to kind of tell you. So on November 7th, which is 4/27 for 11 days, I will be entering my 7-year anniversary of being with one trading team, one company, one bot, one AI, all that other crapola, one team. And the lessons that I've learned, besides the fact that I'm very, very lucky, and I think I explained this in other content, I am very, very lucky because I was more in network marketing. I built websites, stuff like that, and flipped them and sold them. And so I never had some of the struggles that I've seen folks over 7 years have by, should I try this bot? Should I try the AI? Should I try this team? Should I try this company? And I never had that struggle. So, and I definitely am extremely patient with a lot of the folks that ask me questions, members of our team, etc. And because that struggle is real and that's legitimate. And I am just amazed by what I hear, what I see, because there's so much nonsense online right now that it's just terrible. It's the AI bot, it's the AI stuff, it's the bots, it's the, it's what we call, what do we call it? The shiny objects, right? People kind of fall for the shiny objects. So when we started 7 years ago, we were focused on basically smart money, bankers candles, and we still do that to this day. And then we realized that, some folks' journey takes a little bit longer to master the skill of trading than others. And so then we kind of partnered with this impulse scanner. It's probably been almost 2 years now. It's absolutely amazing. You can see it on the screen. Every arrow there, it takes into account 50 market variables before it paints. I mean, it is, I don't want to say easy, but I want to say that we're kind of handing you prime rib, okay? And I kind of wanted to address a couple things because I've learned a couple things over 7 years as we get to my 7-year anniversary. Okay, so there's 3 ways that you fail with us trading. 3, okay? The first one is if you quit, period. If you quit, if you go inactive, if you lose momentum, if you go on vacation, anything that gets in the way of your daily progress is quitting, okay? And by the way, I'm dropping some truth bombs here today. Okay, this isn't just about marketing and having folks join. Okay, this is me being honest with expectations. Okay, two, if you don't follow what we lay out, and I see it all the time, right? There is a certain step by step how we want you to learn how to trade, and the reason being is we've done it. We've been there. We have the success stories. Okay, and the third reason is you never start, okay? And for somebody, there's about maybe 1% of our trading team, maybe less than 1%, that actively helps try to grow the team. And our team continues to steadily climb over 8 years. I've been here almost 7, and we're 8 years. And what I find is so amazing how people's mindset get in the way, okay? So, for example, I was talking to somebody over the weekend, and he had been with us almost quite a month, but hadn't developed any consistency. And so then he went inactive. And this, and again, I'm being transparent because this is what gets in the way from folks being successful. So he goes inactive. Oh, I ran into a problem. My paycheck's next Friday. I'll get current then, or whatever the case may be. And then next Friday came along. Anybody who knows me is I'm going to follow up. Okay. Right. Where some people, hey, if you quit, that's on you. It's up to you to get back. But I really, really care about my folks. When I bring you on board, it's about staying dialed into to what we teach you and staying consistent. Right. Doesn't mean you have to trade every day. Doesn't mean you have to study every day. Doesn't mean you don't have to go on vacation. Go on vacation. But lock back right in when you get back from vacation, because you joined us for a reason. You joined us to become a successful trader, right? You probably have tried a half dozen other things that have failed, okay? So then you have to ask yourself, okay, is it me? Is it everybody else? Is it the company? Is it the team? Is it the bot? Is it this, that, or whatever? Okay. So this person went active. And he said, Jeff, I'll get back active next week. Okay. So next week came and gone. And now we're on 3 weeks. So we have a little conversation. I'm not going to mention his name, obviously, but I'm trying to, this is where your mindset gets in the way, right? Because what happens is if you don't see success right out of the gate in 3 days, or even the first month, right? Then your mindset starts to put negative thoughts in your brain, right? And you come up with excuses. Oh, I got this bill coming, or I've got this, or, issues with the partner, or whatever the case may be, okay? And you keep procrastinating. And my response is, as we were going back and forth about staying locked in, the price is just amazing, is because this person was inconsistent, okay? I said, and I hadn't gotten a response yet, if you'd have won the last 6 trades, would you have gone inactive? Of course not. There's not a chance in heck if he had won his last 6 trades, he would have gone inactive, right? Because the momentum builds. And by the way, I'm emotional today. I'm wired up. I've got my Mountain Dew. I'm ready to go. I'm trying to teach folks some stuff here. If you had won your last 2 trades, 3 trades, 5 trades, 6 trades, would you have gone inactive? No. I would bet my house on it, okay? But because those negative thoughts, right, because he hadn't developed the consistency yet, right? So when folks join us, some people pick it up day 1. Some people pick it up day 7. Some people pick it up day 50, right? So why let negative thoughts bounce in your brain, okay? Because you haven't developed the consistency, right? Let me show you something, okay? Let me show you something here real quick. Hold on. I will pull something up. I don't want to pull up the group. Hold on. Give me a second. Just pulling up my page as I digress, and you will see. Okay. There's my live. Beautiful. Look at me. All right. And let me find it. Here we go. Right here. Okay. You want to be consistent This is how you become consistent. It's called you practice and you follow what we lay out. So this is Neil, who's been on the team for a bit. And last week, he was 7 of 7 on his trades. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a financial counselor. This is for educational purposes only. All that good stuff to kind of protect us, right? There's risk in trading, blah, 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 blah. Neil practiced. Boom. I'm sorry. This is Neil. My bad. This is Tobias. Okay? 7 for 7. Right? And Tobias doesn't mind me mentioning his name. And sometimes he's up and down emotionally. This is Neil. 6 for 6. Okay? Right? So just because you're inconsistent doesn't mean it doesn't work. It doesn't mean anything. But you allow your brain to be effective negatively, which makes you make different choices. Right? So if the person that I talked to over this past weekend was 6 for 6, he would have stayed active. He would have stayed locked in. Right? Now, in most cases, a lot of cases actually, people end up coming back because they just see what's out there. It's all crap. Right? And sometimes folks say, oh, let me try this, let me try that, let me try this, or go live too quickly and not practicing on demo and not using proper risk management, all stuff that we teach. Okay? So stop letting negative thoughts come into your brain. And I hear it over and over and over, right? You can't have excuses in life. And of course, I'm older, so I have made every mistake in the book. Okay? That's a fact. Okay? And I've gone over when I started to learn how to trade. To learn how to trade using this impulse scanner, folks, is we always ask, can you follow the 4 steps of the scalping strategy, which I will show here in a little bit, okay? But you have to ask yourself, okay, wow, I mean, if you take any kind of look, if you see whether you're a teammate or you're thinking about a teammate and you look at the impulse scanner, wow, I might got a shot at this, right? But you can't let, what we can't control is your mindset, what's going in your brain, right? Because what happens is your brain is warning you, right? There's an old TV show called Lost in Space. I was too young to remember it, but I've seen reruns, right? Danger, Will Robinson, right? Our brain is taught to find ways to protect us, right? So when this person's inconsistent, his mechanism goes off. Okay, let me go inactive. I've got this. I've got work. I can't get on the charts. It's just excuses. It's just excuses, guys. And this is me being honest. Okay, right? You having a job is an excuse. Okay, I've explained multiple times. I have multiple stories, but I have one person had 2 full-time jobs and a single mother and learned how to trade. Now imagine that. Imagine that. 16-hour days and then had a daughter, right? And only 8 hours left and learn how to trade, right? Send me a message. I'll tell you how that worked out. She knows how to trade. Okay? So we got to stop coming up with excuses, right? So it's like, oh, I got to be on the charts right when New York opens. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. The impulse scanner, and the scalping strategy, you can trade on it at all times, all sessions, it works. We have the documentation, okay? Beats conversation, right? We advise you, right, when the session changeover, right? That's not the good time to do it, right? Spreads, stuff like that, okay? But anyway, we have other strategies. We have a 71 Bollinger Band breach, and we have the smart money that we started 8 years ago. But that's not really not the focus here. The focus is stop letting your brain get in the way of why you quit. Anything in life. This is anything, not even just trading. Okay? Whew. Hey, Melissa. Yes. Look at Melissa. I was working between 60 and 70 hours a week when I first started. It was hard, but I made it because I wanted it. If you want it, you can make it work for you too. That's right. And do you think, if I asked Melissa, and if you're a member of the community, check out the interview because we interview successful traders who made the Masters Club. I guarantee you in her first month, she wasn't successful. But that doesn't mean you just quit, right? Especially at the price point we have now. It's like off the charts. $3.80 per day, right? But it's really not about that. It's more about what your brain is convincing you to do, right? Oh, this doesn't work for me. Quit. Guess what? You're going to end up coming back, or you're going to go to something else, and you're going to blow money, right? It's just your brain because feeds negative thoughts. It's to protect you, right? It's kind of like the wall we put up, right? This person's a danger to me, okay? This system's a danger to me, right? Instead of fighting through, you've got to be mentally tough, right? Just because you haven't figured it out in 28 days doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means you have to practice. Practice, okay? And I'm not even on the impulse scanner. I'm fired up today, right? And I love this person. But there's lessons to be learned here. 7 years and 11 days. Not one day did I quit. And I learned banker scandals, smart money, right? Just because it doesn't work for you in the first 28 days doesn't mean it doesn't work. And you allow the negative thoughts in your brain say, wait a minute, okay. And you come up with excuses, even if they're legitimate excuses, okay? I'm going to take a break. I work, I had somebody remodel a bathroom, and I'm like, you're losing momentum. You're losing your momentum, okay? Don't let those negative thoughts. Just because there's some inconsistency, that happens in trading. Do you think that I learned how to trade in 3 days? Do you think I learned how to trade in 1 month? And in 11 days, 7 years later, still here, 11 days, right? So that's the first thing, okay? Stop letting negative thoughts. The second thing that I've learned in almost 7 years of helping others is people do things backwards, okay? Totally backwards. And I had this conversation today, right? And by the way, for those coming in late, I appreciate you stopping by. My Bears don't play for, another hour and a half. So I figured let's do this. I got to get a couple things off my chest. Yes, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. Hey, Jason. Okay, the second thing is, now we're not allowed to recommend brokers. We're not allowed to talk about prop firms. Is a person, and I've been asked this 100 times. Jeff, will you help me pass? And then I will join the team. Oh my goodness. Stop doing it backwards, right? You learn to trade through us, then whatever your goals are, go for it. Okay? And for me, it's amazing. As I said at the beginning, I only joined this team. This is the only team I've ever been on. So I didn't have all the shiny objects. Now, because on my timeline, I post, obviously trading stuff, success stories, and stuff like that, that I see a lot of the companies that come and go, the bots that come and go, right? The people who solicit you, hey, learn how to do this, learn how to do this. And guess what? 90 days later, they're selling, bets for sports. Right? I've seen that in the last couple of weeks. Like, stay locked in, loaded, and ready to rock. Okay? Stop coming up with excuses, right? And for the folks that have been watching and watching and watching and watching, pull the trigger if it's important to you, right? It's okay, right? I'm here, the team's here, Melissa's here, Jason's here, anybody in our team will help you. People that I've helped know that I'm there for you, right? But you can't let negative thoughts come into your brain, okay, and come up with excuses. It's like the one thing almost 7 years that that for me, and this is me being honest, I'm losing patience with the excuses, right? And I'm full disclosure, right? I try to practice what I preach. We can't have excuses, whether it's this in life, etc., right? That the next day is going to wake up, right? You're going to have bills to pay, children to feed, all kinds of stuff, whatever you're at in life. But if this is important to you, then get in if you're not in. If it's important to you and you're in and you're wavering, stay locked in. You are not supposed to master trading in 28 days. And I told you this, right? Neil's taken a while, right? Tobias, fantastic. Okay? But they had to practice. And they can both share with you, if they see this later, my conversations back and forth on my mentoring, right? And if you're on my part of the team and you haven't heard from me, well, then you need to reach me. Jeff, hey, here's how I'm rocking and rolling. Jeff, I'm kind of struggling. Jeff, here's a journal. That gets to my next point, right? This person that I talked to over the weekend, I said, okay, well, you're a month in. Where's your journal? No journal, right? It's the lazy way out. We have a process sheet. I'm fired up today. Whoops. That's not what I wanted. Hold on. I got you. I'm here. Right? We got a process sheet. Right? This is a Google Doc. Right? Exactly what you need to do. Right? And this is a copy of the KISS workbook. And I'm going to use this particular journal to show. Right? This is Joe. Hi, Joe, if you see this video later. Right? This is one of the last few journals that I reviewed. In fact, Jason, I reviewed a couple journals for somebody who's been with us for a couple years. And I passed this person. I said, you know what? We need to get a different view on this. Right? And if Jason's still on it, he did a 35-minute video on his journal like this to assist. Right? Because sometimes you need a new set of eyes. 35 minutes. That's how dedicated we are to helping you become successful. But you got to stay locked in. And if you're not in, you got to get in and stay in and not come up with excuses. Right? So this is Joe. All right. Now I'm not going to pull all this up, but these are before screenshots. These are the pairs. These are the after screenshots. You can see the wins and the losses. Okay. Obviously, crushing it. But if you have not submitted a journal, it doesn't work, or I'm having trouble, or I'm inconsistent, right? Negative thoughts coming into your brain. We lay it out for you, right? We try to hold your hand, but some of this is on you if you want to be a successful trader. But stop with the excuses. Stop doing things backwards. And for those that aren't in, that have just been sitting there, let's go, right? And the reason I share this with folks that aren't in, or the folks that are in, and there's so many people crushing it. Jason is, Melissa is, crushing it, is because they just stay locked in and they practice until they get good at it. Now, Melissa's great. Melissa's killing it. And leadership does an interview on Thursdays. So we interview successful traders on Thursdays so that folks that aren't there yet, or starting to get there, or even struggling, maybe pick up some tips, right? Because I haven't seen the latest figures, 6 trillion, 7 trillion, pulled out of the market all the time. Well, you can get your fair share. I get my fair share. Melissa gets her fair share. Jason gets his fair share. Okay. I want you to get your fair share. I know how to trade. I'm trying to help you learn how to trade, but you have to stay locked and loaded. Okay? Any questions for anybody watching live? Fire away. Let me see. Hey, Zelko. I can never pronounce your name, brother. So, hope you're well. Okay? So, because 7 years and 10 days. So, it was kind of time to me to get a couple things off my chest. Right? And one more thing. Yeah, I'm going to go there, right? The messenger thing. If I've sent you a message and I'm trying to help you, don't pretend I didn't see it or I'm not going to respond or whatever. I'm there to help you. Remember that. I'm trying to help you. Okay? All right, perfect. Now, I'm done. Hopefully, folks got some value out of that. Sometimes you just got to be brutally honest. Now, let's get to the scanner. So this is the amazing resource that we have that we utilize, okay, to identify potential trades in the market. Now, obviously, it's 2 o'clock Central Time, okay? Obviously, the markets are closed, but I kind of wanted to show you this for folks who are kind of tuning in late, like, whoa, Jeff's fired up today. I'm just a little fired up. I want folks to be successful. But if you come up with an excuse why you're not successful or why you're not trying to be successful or why whatever the case may be, right, then just don't waste my time, okay? I'll just help the next person, right? 7 years. There's a reason I've been here 7 years, guys, okay? So I'm here to help you, but I can't do it for you, okay? All right, so this is the Impulse Scanner, all right? This is an amazing piece of software, okay? I wish I had this when I first joined. So I'm going to go really quickly through the 4-step scalping strategy, all right? This is where we have experienced trader start or new trader start. We have 2 different scalping strategies, but I like this one, okay? And you can pick one of the 2. And this is the one that I always kind of like to do on the markets, all right? So the first thing is, here's the alert panel. You can see all the time frames, 1 minute to the daily, right? You can also see the settings because I set up my phone for notifications. So I get notifications right on my phone. Okay, the 1 minute and the 5 minute for the scalping, the 1 hour, the 4 hour for smart money. That's what I do. Okay, now let's go back to the scanner. And I'm just going to kind of go over this pretty quickly. Okay, let me get the macro back on. This is important. See this macro? So it's 4 steps. Okay, it's very easy. 4 steps. You just have to ask yourself, do you think you can do this? Okay. So you can see I can sort by macro trend. Now, remember, markets are closed, okay? And here is the trend and strength number, right? The higher the number, obviously, the stronger the trend. So let's look at, and so there's 4 steps, basically. So step 1 is these time frames, 1 minute to 1 hour, must be aligned, okay? They got to be aligned. The 4 hour and the daily, it's added, bonus, okay? Step 2 is you're looking for a macro, okay? Now, step 3, and this is EUR/USD, is, so it might help if I get on the right pair. There you go. I do this once per day, guys, so it's not unusual. Okay, so 1 minute to 1 hour. There's your macro. Now you're looking for a pullback, right? Step 3 is a pullback. This is a pullback against trend, okay? And you're looking for 4 blue arrows back against trend, right? So you might think, well, maybe this is an opportunity. No, because it's consolidating. See how small the arrows are out? They're not next to each other. It's not really in a pullback. Start as a pullback, but no. And then if this was a legit pullback, you would get back in step 4, the first down arrow, okay? In our community, we teach you how you can trail your stop loss. We teach you how to put your risk management in there, where you put your stop loss, okay? And you can just set a goal for a take profit and call it a day, or you can keep an eye on it. But the beautiful thing is you get notifications when this macro appears, okay? Let me look just at a couple pairs. That's all I'm going to do today, right? Because I'm fired up. And let's see, GBP, NZD, all the time frames are in line, but I don't see a macro. Let me go to the 1 minute. The 1 minute I really like. Okay, nothing there. Let's go to USD CAD. USD CAD. Okay. So USD CAD, this is, I guarantee you folks took this trade. 1 minute to 1 hour. You do have the benefit of the 4 hour and the daily. Here's your macro. Okay. Here is 4 reverse red arrows. Now, I personally like 4 red candlesticks too, against trend, by the way. But you can take this trade. First blue arrow. Now look. See? Boom. Nice move. And we teach you where to put your stop loss, or you can have a take profit and call it a day, or you can trail it. Okay? So I guarantee you some folks took that move. Let's look at AUD Chef. Time frames downside. Boom, 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 boom. No macro. Okay. Let's look at gold. Let's get right to gold. All right. So when the market's open, yeah, let's try to get on gold, Jeff. Okay. So interesting. No macro, but obviously a strong trend, right? Gold is bullish. Okay. Boom, 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 shakalaka, boom. I don't think Jason's still on, but he likes saying that comment. Okay. So I bet some folks took this one, all right, on Friday. Remember, the 5-minute. Time frame, boom. Trend and strength, boom. Step 2, macro, boom. Step 3, 4 red arrows. Couple opportunities here, right? Right here, even though there's a blue candlestick, okay, decent pullback. You'd get in here and boom. Or right here, you could get in and boom. Couple opportunities there, okay? And yes, I get this question all the time. Do you teach other entry models? Yes, we do. We teach you 71 Bollinger Band breach and smart money. And there's actually a couple other entry models. The educators go live 3 times a day, all right? Now I'm going to revert back to my first discussion. Then one of the things that my guy said is it's best to be on live. And I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, in a perfect world, you'd love to be on the live with the educators, but they're on live 3 times a day. But if you have the strategy and you have the mentorship and you have our Q&As that you can re-watch, or the live sessions from the educators, you can watch all 3 sessions they do daily, right? It's not like they're calling out a trade, right? You still have to go through the steps. That's the beauty, right? You have every opportunity to achieve your goals. I'm going to kind of wrap this up. You have every opportunity to reach all of your goals, right? But it's up to you to take those steps. If you're not with us, right, stop coming with excuses why you're not in, okay? And I've heard them, right? I still hear them, right? I've had a couple of people say not financially ready. Well, you're going to go on demo first, and the price is only $139 for the first month, which is $4.08, right? But then, me honestly, timeline, dinner, expensive dinner, out and a fun. It's got to be a priority, right? If it's important to you, okay? And you're going to demo it first anyway. You're not going live, right? If you're with the community, then you need to stay plugged in, be consistent, do a trade journal. If you're on my part of the team, reach out for help. Whoever your sponsor is, reach out and get the help needed. And you can pop in our Discord community, right? The world can be your oyster. You can achieve anything you want in your trading goals and your journey. You just have to do 2 things. Follow what we lay out and don't quit. Okay? That's it, guys. Let's have a great week. Any questions? Reach out. Take care.